So, that was an interesting few days. After all the controversy and different opinions, the Apple M1 finally came out and, well, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Performance-wise, it's just fine. It's a nice little improvement over the previous generation Apple products. It's all good, right? Well, today, I wanted to talk some more about the whole fallout surrounding this situation. No, I'm not talking about the game. Because for me, as a tech YouTuber, I think what's been even more interesting in this whole launch wasn't the Apple M1 in itself, even though it is a really good looking step forwards for Apple and ARM as a whole, but rather the whole controversy surrounding it and surrounding people's takes on it in the tech space online. And I highly recommend you check out my previous video talking about this. It's gonna be up in the iCards. I highly recommend you check it out so you know exactly what I'm talking about. In essence, there has been a lot of arguments in the past week or so over if the new Apple M1 is gonna be amazing or if we should be more careful and skeptical of it, especially seeing how Apple in itself was very, very vague in the presentation. So should we have believed Apple? I mean, it's Apple we're talking about, and I'm planning a whole video talking about some of the more sketchy things they've been doing recently, so definitely subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that. And even after the presentation, they still said a lot of very vague things, like the fact that they compared it to an Intel Core i3. Okay, which one? It's not like there's like 1,000 of them at this point. But in the end, the performance of it is fine, so what more could we ask for? Many of us, many YouTubers, including myself, who have been more skeptical of the SoC, have been constantly under a barrage saying, ooh, what don't you like about this? It's just, you should be hyped for this, it's gonna be a great step forward for Apple. And what's even more hilarious is now that YouTubers who are saying that, yeah, the Apple M1's pretty good, after seeing its numbers, are also being criticized for just changing their mind. And for me, that is really a terrible, terrible mentality that's circulating in the tech space. Because that kind of behavior, where you change your mind based on new information that's coming in, that kind of should be the norm. We were skeptical when Apple first revealed the M1 because there wasn't lots of information, the graphs were vague, and overall it wasn't looking that revolutionary. And now that the first performance numbers are starting to come out, we can say that, yeah, it's fine. It's not some revolutionary thing that's gonna end world hunger like some people seem to think, but it's still good. Because in the world of tech and talking about tech and hardware, one of the worst things you could possibly do is have some kind of bias towards a company. After all, what's the point of a review or just impressions or anything if they're not objective? Now, true, some people may have different thoughts on a device or whatever. Some might say that a phone, like someone could say that this phone is uncomfortable in a hand. That's fine. It's subjective, but it's going to be subjective for every person. Some people will find it uncomfortable, some people find it the most comfortable thing ever. That kind of subjectivity is fine, we accept it. However, this trend of people not being allowed to be skeptical and this kind of constant barrage on people who just committed the hideous crime apparently of not trusting Apple in the presentation, well, that's kind of concerning to me, but that's just some food for thought. And that's just something to look out for. Who knows, maybe if stuff like this continues, in a few years' time, we're going to have our own little tech version of Gamergate, when people are going to just be yelling for better ethics in tech journalism, and especially how much more of a cult some of the big companies are starting to create. Nvidia, Apple, Intel, even AMD. I could definitely see a situation occurring sometime soon. But yeah, those are just some of my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think. And hey, if you're still here and you want me to feel better about being barraged by comments from angry Apple fans, then maybe check out my Patreon, which is going to be down in the video description below. Because even $1 milk goes a long way helping my channel. I also love to my patrons, Gavin Burns, LKB. Thank you ever so much. That is also a link to my Discord if you can talk to me over this or whatever else really. And also our Amazon Associates links if you want to buy anything from them. We get some money, you don't pay anything extra, so it's a win-win. Since we're talking about Apple, I'll probably have them linked to some nice USB hubs, seeing how their products notoriously have little USB connectivity. In fact, I did a review of the MacBook Pro 13-inch recently, not the M1 one, but the previous one. And it has like what, 2 USB Type-C ports and that's it. Yeah, I know. But anyway, that's about it, so I hope you enjoyed this quick little video. If you didn't subscribe, like, whatever, and I'll see you all in whatever next. Goodbye everyone. Goodbye.